do want to do a color correction of your videos, but you don't know what are the guidelines, and you basically eyeball it, I'm going to show you how to do it quickly and effectively. I will save you a lot of time with this video, so check out the thanks button under this video and subscribe if you don't trust your eyes, and like, you shouldn't. I mean, the idea is what you see is what you get, really, but it's unpredictable how this is going to look like on other screens. So if you just want to, and I'm not talking about like cinematic videos and cinematic look, like of course it's your artistic style, but I'm talking about like marketing promo videos, right? So what you see when you look at this video number one is we're losing highlights, so we're losing details in this area. This wasn't shot in log, so we might not be able to recover this at all, but we need to expect this to see in the waveform, which I'm going to show you in a second. And all the dark parts right here, there are some of the places where we lose detail. And every time we lose detail, it might look even worse on different screens, okay? And of course, his face doesn't really look healthy. So again, if this is your intention, that's completely okay. But I'm going to show you, if you want to go by the guidelines and, you know, broadcast and basically make sure that on every screen looks correct, you go to window and first of all, enable Lumetri color. Second of all, enable Lumetri scopes. And this is not going to be like a long color grading and color correction video, but I just want to give you like a quick overview how to read and what are you supposed to focus on if you check what's going on with the image. So the two things right here, this is the waveform and Luma. That means I'm looking at the highlights and shadows. So I'm looking at the overall luminance of the image. And as you can see, this is the RGB. So it shows me how much color I have. Also, when I look at the image, obviously we see a lot of blue, dark blue and light blue everywhere. So the blue is kind of like dominant. And of course we see a lot of green, but it's kind of equal to red. So like the blue is the strongest element. The waveform in the end. So if I actually get rid of this one, and I see the waveform monitor, how you read this is actually 100% is something that you shouldn't cross. You shouldn't go above, especially if you work in a Rec 709. And you shouldn't go below 0, okay? So basically what you're trying to do, and by the way, this is not like histogram. This literally reflects what's going on in the image. So when I move the histogram, the waveform moves with it, okay? So it literally mirrors what's going on in the picture. Meaning, in this area, we do have highlights which are blown out. So if you see this color, you know, this intensity of white, which shows you like there's a lot going on in here and it's very, very close to 100. So this is the first indication, like we are in trouble. And the second indication is all the rest of it at the actual jacket. So you see it's basically clipping at 0. So a lot of information at 0, we're losing a lot of detail in this area, okay? Right now, if I just demonstrate to you with the curve, like if I'm gonna drag this curve up to make it lighter, do you see that literally clipping? So a lot of the image right now is overexposed completely. So this is not the way to do it. And if I drag this all the way down, then of course you can see what's going on, but like this is literally what's happening with the waveform. So it gives you a pretty good and nice idea. Where you want to be really is, well, you want to be spread out. But again, this is not your artistic intention. Like I'm talking about the actual standard, like the broadcast and all that, you know, different screen marketing videos. So you're trying to be spread out nicely and basically evenly. But I'm going to show you how to fix that. And let me just go back to the parade again. So the blue color is very dominant across it. And you can also try to do the white balance tool, the color picker, and, you know, click on something which was supposed to be white right here. Now the blue goes completely down, so you can see before and after, and you see the graph right here. So now the dominant are red and green, but they don't seem to clip except for the blacks right here, the darker ones where we lose detail. But right now it gives, like, it has a bit more life to it. if you see before and after. But of course, if you don't want your blue to go that low, you can then shift it a bit higher and see whether you want this look. So now you can see obviously how much blue actually we had before, and now it's kind of better. So if you want to go like for a little bit more warmer look, you're just going to take down that blue a bit more. So now this looks slightly better. Okay, nothing is clipping right there from the top, so it also looks good here. Okay, brilliant. Step number 1, what we need to do, let me just go back here, is we need to bring back the actual details in the blacks. So of course I can increase the shadows. Look what's happening. Okay, with increasing shadows, I'm going up right here as well. So what I can do, I can make sure I increase blacks, and you see like how much I went from 0, but still I'm like very close and losing detail. But right here, if I increase these two before and after, it's looking much, much better. Okay, if I don't want to do blacks this way, so I spread out the shadows in that area, I'm gonna turn down highlights just for the sky and the face. Did you see like it went straight down? I can also take the whites down as well, but what I'm trying to do is maybe just to give a little bit of a boost of overall exposure. And basically, if I'm going to take down the contrast a little bit, I'm getting more spread out across the image, and maybe even like the exposure a bit lower. So before and after. Okay, and let's check the parade again. Okay, so I've taken all the colors down because I've taken down the contrast. Okay, so basically I can take this slightly back because I now have all this space from the top, right? So again, I'm gonna compare. Like literally, I am okay with the waveform. A little bit, I'm losing detail in here. So what I can do again is literally just do the waveforms, the curves, and see whether I can just increase that a little bit on the actual shadows, for example, just like a little bit. Okay. Okay. And then, so I'm trying to be like less intense in these blacks, right? So my intensity should be somewhere in the middle, and nothing really I can do about the sky. So it's gonna be still there, but it's not losing the detail, like it's not completely overexposed. So I'm keeping it around between it, like around 85, which works great. So this is basically for like low contrast TV, not very much shadows, and literally look at this. So not many shadows. I can see myself in the glasses as well. The contrast is down. His face now looks, of course it's winter, but it looks more alive. No shadows here basically, and it all looks great to me. And now be ready for this. Before, this is literally before. Like, you don't know how you can improve it until you improve it, I would say. So this is literally before. I don't see anything in this area, like the scarf and all that. And I'm worried, like, how much detail I'm going to lose when I play this on a different screen, right? If you found this video helpful, give it a like or subscribe, or check out the thanks button under this video. And if you have any questions, let me know.